Hello students, this is Sujit sir, your teacher of English. And in today's class, we are going to learn a very interesting thing. It is the rearrangement of jumbled up words. Now, rearrangement of jumbled up words is one of the important sections of English grammar. Now, what do we exactly mean by this? Now, as we all know, a sentence refers to a group of words that gives us a complete meaning. But if it does not make any sense, we cannot call it a sentence. Now, herein, rearrangement of jumbled up words, you will be given many words, as many as we find in a sentence. But the words are not in proper order. We have to bring them into a proper order. You will find after reading the words that it is not giving out any kind of meaning. It is not giving any kind of sense. So what we need to do here, students? We have to arrange those words meaningfully that it gives a complete sense. So this is what we are going to do here. Now there is a basic sentence structure, my students, and the basic sentence structure for a sentence is nothing but the combination of a subject, a verb, and an object. Generally, we find a sentence starting with a subject, then comes the verb, finally it ends with an object. Now, what is meant by a subject? Subject actually who or what performs the action. Who is performing an action, or what is performing an action? Who is the person or the thing spoken of? What are we talking about? These things are subject. Now, what is verb? Verb is the word that expresses what the action is. So what I have told you, the subject, one who is performing something, or the person or the thing spoken of, and thereafter the verb is the word that tells us what action is taking place, and finally what is meant by an object, whoever or whatever receives that action. So the action is shown in the verbal portion, and the one which is receiving the action is known as the object. Now, what does each of these parts contain? First, what does the subject part contain? A subject part may comprise of a noun or a pronoun. It may also be a noun phrase which comes at the beginning of a sentence. In the verbal part, we get a main verb. There are thousands of main verbs, as we all know, but at the same time, there may be some auxiliary verbs also, which are also called helping verbs. Like there are many, all of us know, there are as many as 5 be verbs, which are am, is, are, was, were. Next comes have verb. There are 3, have, has, had. There are 3 more do verb, do, does, did. And we have some modals like shall, should, can, could, will, would, may, might. There may again be some semi-modals like used to, ought to, dare, need, must. In total, there are 24 auxiliary verbs, also called helping verbs. Now, in the verbal portion, there may be a main verb only, or there may be a combination of an auxiliary verb followed by a main verb. So that is what the verbal portion contains. And finally, in the object part, what do we get? We may get a noun, we may get a pronoun, as same as we have found in the subject part. So the subject part begins with a noun or a pronoun. Similarly, in the object part, there will be a noun or a pronoun that receives the action of the subject. So in the subject part there will be noun or pronoun, and in the object part also there may be a noun or a pronoun. But that noun or pronoun will directly receive the action of the verb. This is what each of the parts, that is the subject part, the verbal part and the object part, contain. Now, how do we get questions on rearrangement of jumbled up words? Here I have come with some of the examples. And students, these examples will help you understand the process in a better way. Look at the first question. We have words like gifts, signs, enjoy, step, every, in, we, of, the. Now these words are given in an improper order. And what we have to do? We have to bring them in a proper order. Now let us try this. First of all, you may start looking for a noun. Yes, we all know a sentence begins with a noun or a pronoun. Naturally, most students will look for the noun or the pronoun. But there may be more than one noun or more than one pronoun in such a question. So it may sometimes arise a confusion in your mind. If there will be more than one noun, definitely you will keep on thinking which noun will the sentence start with. Therefore, I advise you to look for the verb rather than the noun. First of all, find out the verb. You will be easily able to understand which noun should be there in the subject part, which noun or which pronoun will be there in the object part. Now here in this question, we have only one verb, and that is enjoy. Okay, keep this in mind. We have got a verb here and the verb is enjoy. Now the other words which we have here in this question, let us have a look at it. Now if we begin the sentence with we, because a sentence may also begin with a pronoun, and if we make it the subject of the sentence, if we begin like this, we enjoy. So that may happen. It is appropriate. We can start with that. We enjoy. Now we have gifts, signs, and towards the end we have of the. So you can make a phrase out of it, like gifts of signs. It is a suitable phrase. We can use it. So in this way, you have to keep the things in mind. We enjoy the gifts of signs. This much we have done. Now we have a few more words, which I hope all of you will be able to arrange properly. So this much we have done. We enjoy the gifts of signs in every step. So now look, here we have come to a conclusion. Here the things have turned right. We have been able to bring these jumbled up words into a proper order. So this one we can write, we enjoy the gifts of signs in every step. That is a complete sentence. It is giving a proper meaning. It is giving a clear sense. So we can call it a sentence now. This is a grammatically correct sentence. We enjoy the gifts of signs at every step. Now come to the second one. World news, the of newspaper us gives. Now we should think of the various gifts of signs. Now newspaper is one of those gifts. So if we begin the sentence with newspaper, let us see what happens. Sometimes after making some arrangement, you may feel that no, you are not going to the right direction. It may sometimes happen. No problem. We have to think twice, thrice. But if you read the various words carefully and you know that a sentence generally begins with a noun or a pronoun followed by a verb, I don't think it will be much problem to you. If you read the words twice, thrice or once more, you will be able to understand. And there is a continuation. Each of these sentences is related with the other. First one is related with the second, second with the third. So there is a kind of sequence going on. Let us go to the second sentence. we have read the different words given to us. Now we have to make a proper arrangement of the words. Now if we start the sentence with newspaper, let us see what happens. Newspaper gives us. Yes, newspaper gives us. That information we already have had. Newspaper gives us this much. So what does it give? Newspaper gives us the news. And now finally we have three words remaining. One is world, one is of, one is the. So of the world, it is a phrase, a suitable phrase. So we can arrange the sentence in this way. We can write newspaper gives us the news of the world. A complete sentence giving a proper meaning, giving a correct sense. Come to the next one. What do we have? We have heat beat the of the summer fans. Now another invention, another gift of science is electrical fan. So we can start the sentence with fans. So fans, the noun, it should be followed by a verb. Let us find out a verb here. There is only one verb and the verb is beat, and it is properly agreeing also. If you look at it from the point of view of subject verb agreement, yes, fans is a plural noun, therefore the verb will be plural. And if we keep beat, so it is grammatically correct. So beat, the verb should come just after the noun fans. Fans beat. So what do fans beat? Fans beat the heat. Yes, fans beat the heat. We get rid of the heat of the summer by turning on the fan. So fans beat the heat. And then three words are left only. Of the summer. Very easy. Of the summer you can add at the end of the sentence. So the sentence will be fans beat the heat of the summer. So in this way you can make the arrangement. Now we have some more examples here. In the first one, the various words are healthy, morning, walk, habit, is. Now it comes to our mind all at once that it must be talking about morning walk, something like that. So it is a noun phrase. You can start with that morning walk. Let us see. If we cannot proceed further, if we cannot move ahead, starting with these two words, we may have to return back and think about it once again. No problem. Let us see. Let us move ahead. Morning walk. Thereafter comes the verb. We know. So the only verb that we have, it is. So morning walk is a. This much we can do. We can think also. Morning walk is a. Now what are left? Healthy and habit. So it should be a healthy habit. So we can write morning walk is a healthy habit. This is giving a complete sense. Therefore we can call it a sentence. So this will be the proper arrangement. Come to the next one. What do we have? Let us see. Of exercise form is the eat best. So we can start with either a noun or a pronoun as a sentence generally begins. But if we start with exercise, let us see. Exercise is the best. Exercise is the best. Thereafter, we are unable to arrange the remaining words. So let us think it in another way. If we start it in this way, it is the. So it is the best. Keep this much in your mind, students. It is the best. Now we have only three more words left. One is exercise, one is form, and one is of. So we can make a phrase, form of exercise. This we can say, form of exercise. So here the sentence is properly arranged. It is the best form of exercise. We can say that it is the best form of exercise. Therefore, we have got one more complete sentence. Then comes free, fresh and air is morning pollution from. So if you read these words, at least twice it will strike your mind that at least there will be free from pollution somewhere. Free from pollution. We have often heard the phrase free from pollution. So you keep this part away. Keep it in your mind, free from pollution. Now try to deal with the remaining words in the sentence. So we have here air. We can begin the sentence with morning air. The air that blows in the morning is called morning air. So morning air, if you begin like this. And one thing don't forget, you have taken away that part, free from pollution. So morning air, two words we have used. They are free from pollution. We have already used three more words there. So morning air is, so after the noun or a noun phrase, there should be a verb and there is only one verb. Therefore, undoubtedly, is will come. So morning air is. Now, there is only one more word which we have not used. That is fresh. So we can write in this way, morning air is fresh. Well, and is also there. And should be there. Otherwise, we cannot be able to add the part or the phrase which we have kept in our mind. So the arrangement is morning air is free from, morning air is fresh and free from pollution. This is giving a complete sense. So therefore we can call it a sentence. Finally, we have five words: fit, one, eat, keep, can. Therefore, let me have a look. There is one. One is a noun. Eat is a pronoun. Can is a modal verb. Keep is the main verb. Fit, an adjective. So we can start the sentence either with one or with eat. If we start the sentence with one, what do we get? One can keep, eat, feed. No, not at all giving any meaning. Not at all making any complete sense. So let us begin the sentence with eat. If it is so, we can write in this way, eat, can, keep. Now, after the subject, naturally verb will come. And the verbal portion may have a main verb along with an auxiliary verb. And we have here two. So the arrangement will be eat, can, keep. Now naturally one will come. It will at once come to your mind. So eat, can, keep, one, feet. Yes, adjective feet at the end. So now here we get a proper order. Here we get something that gives a complete meaning. So we can call it a sentence. Therefore, let me tell you once again briefly. Yes, we all know sentences begin with either a noun or a pronoun, but there may be more than one noun, two or three nouns, even four nouns, more than one pronoun. So that will arise a kind of confusion in your mind. Therefore, my advice, my suggestion is to identify the verb first. You can carry on with noun, you can start with a noun if there is one noun in a sentence. Therefore, there is no confusion. Definitely, the sentence will begin with that noun. But if there is more than one noun, don't worry. In such a situation, try to identify the verb first. Once you identify the verb, keep that in mind and again read the sentence or the words given in your question. If you read all the words twice or thrice, you will naturally be able to understand with which noun or with which pronoun the sentence should start. I hope all of you have understood the process. Now we need to practice a lot. The more we practice, the more we will be perfect. Thank you very much.